Oh, here we go, Sherry. Welcome to the Nurse Mark and the Green Nurse Daily Dose of AFA,
where we bring you hope and inspiration for growth and healing so you can start your day off the AFA way. In case you've forgotten, we're going to tell you.
Maybe you're using too much cannabis. No, maybe you're not using enough. We don't know.
No.
But remember this, you're absolutely fucking amazing, exactly as you are. I am going to say that until the day I die because you need to get it. You need to understand it. You can let go of all of the bullshit that has been laid upon you. And actually, the daily love, we're going to talk about that today. Oh, you just blipped a little. Do you have the green dot now?
Can I tell you, there is absolutely nothing on my screen but the green dot. So you guys get to have me for the next 30 minutes where I can see nothing but this green dot. And when I look at the green dot, I imagine I'm looking in all of your eyes.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
It's kind of weird right
now. The green dot. Yes.
The green dot. Yes. Green is go. Green is go within. Green is grass. Green is cannabis. Green is growth, right? So this is what we're doing.
Yeah, green is growth. Right. And we were talking, oh my gosh, great day yesterday. I had I'm a member of Entrepreneurs Organization, proud member for 9 years. And we have a psychedelic group from people from around the world, many of them from South Africa, and entrepreneurs that are really deep into the psychedelic movement, cannabis and psychedelics. And I had my forum meeting yesterday, which means it's a very small, intimate group. And we have very deep discussions about our experiences. And it was phenomenal.
Oh my God. So
phenomenal.
So what did you get most out of that? I love it when people have
that, when people say, well, I have to do the work. The message was, it ain't work. That's the joy. Yeah.
Yes, you go.
It's not work. Oh my gosh. It's such an amazing opportunity to have a joy-filled experience. And you know what? You are absolutely fucking amazing. The use of all these other things just peels away all the bullshit to get to the point to where,
So think about this, Mark. Some of the journeys that you and I, we've both been on our own journeys, using different entheogens to get there. So it's interesting to say, when you step into the experience, sometimes, because people will read, they'll hear other stories, and so they'll take in sometimes from the outside that it has to be work, right? So it's language. So how can we shift, right? We're working right now, but it doesn't feel like work. Right. Because we're doing it for the love and the passion and the joy.
Right.
So having that joy-filled experience. So it may start off where you're having one experience and you're processing information. And then when you can look at it from different angles, from how the plant or plants or entheogens are working in your body, you can experience that experience from a different perspective. And it can be joyful because you're coming to resolution and coming to an understanding of things that you may have not understood before.
And we had conversation around the thought that it's not necessarily the entheogens that are doing the healing. They're removing the blockages to allow your own self to heal. Your body intuitively knows how to heal itself. If we remove the blockages and give access to your body to actually do that, you heal yourself.
And so then getting into the sciencey part of it. So you just think about, blocks, right? So what types of blocks are there? Well, different neurotransmitters, different areas of our brains that aren't communicating with one another. So people might even think too, that, it is an energetic block. At the same time, we have this bio, psychosocial, spiritual, emotional bodies and chemical. Exactly. So blockages can mean a lot of different things in a lot of different areas, including our bodies, our physical bodies. As we say, the body keeps score, right? The body, you have these, right? You're going to move the energy. Yeah, I love that. And that's what's so great is cannabis and other ketamine, psilocybin, MDMA, all of these other ayahuasca, DMT, all of these other things have the potential to remove the blockages. I look at I look at it, my dendrites were blocked, and now that they're opened back up, they're growing, and my brain is starting to process information from a different place.
So most of the people that I am associated with now firmly, absolutely believe that cannabis and psychedelics will save humanity. Like, we're at that inflection point where these that have been here forever and ever, they've never not been here, they will save humanity. And how exciting is it, Sherry, to be a part of that? Here we are.
Here we are.
All of you. Good morning,
all
everybody.
Of you. Exactly. Good morning. I wish I could see who is out there in green nurse land, but I can't see you. I can see the green dot. So you all represent all represent the love that we bring to the show. So let's pick it up on this
Wednesday.
Daily love.
Let's do some daily love. You want to start with that, or you want to talk about the full moon?
Well, let's talk about the daily love, because I'm sure it's going to tie into
the full moon today. You know, it's gonna be one of those that makes your brain hurt a little bit, maybe, because you're gonna have to really soak this in, because it's a landmark reading, right?
Yep.
So it's from Landmark Insights, Book 1, Live a Life You Love. And Sherry, you and I have done the Landmark curriculum, and we know that it's just about stripping away all of the stuff that we accumulate to get to this absolutely amazing core. So here we go. This is called When Old Frames Stop Defining Who We Are. Ready?
I'm ready.
Roman chariots and carts were built to be the width of 2 horses. Roads throughout the Roman Empire were built to be the same width. Coaches, trains, and cars followed, all the same width. Fast forward to space travel. The solid fuel rocket engines, in order to be transported by rail, had to be designed to be the same width. So a major design feature of our most advanced transportation system was set more than 2,000 years ago by the width of 2 horses. So knowledge that's handed down, inherited like this, is in one sense everybody else's, yet we often, for better or worse, end up having to live within its parameters. So listen, it's about context versus content. So our context, how we hold things, set the values, limitations, and directions of our daily lives. They impose in the external world our version of reality. And it can take a long time to shift our contexts, not because it takes a long time to bring about change, Sherry, but because we go about it at the level of content. So in dealing with the content, we're extending the existing world rather than creating a new possibility in the world. When we function at a level of context instead of content, old frames stop defining who we are. It's not that we escape them. It's rather that we escape thinking automatically, reflexively. Nothing is more exciting than to see the world in a new way, because we don't see one new thing. We see everything in a new way.
Yes. Oh, wow. Wow. That's really, really powerful. Here's a really cool way of making an analogy to that. Have you ever, here's a question. Have you ever seen the wind? You hear the wind.
You see the force of the wind.
Yes. So it's just
from the wind.
Right. So it's even so taking, this knowledge handed down from the past, context versus content. Why couldn't I see the wind? Right? Because someone said I couldn't. Right. So, this is really, really great. It does get very, very deep.
But
what I really like is that stripping away to the core. What is the stripping away? The layers of language.
Right.
The layers of language that actually oftentimes block our ability to move forward. So think about that, even with cannabis.
Right. It's that first piece of it about the Roman chariots and carts and the width of 2 horses. That's just one example of we're living with a parameter that was set 2,000 years ago. Did we need to continue to live to that? No, but we did, just because it was default. So what we're saying here is, are you living by default with things that aren't necessarily true or have to be, right? It's about opening up into the world of possibility. The possibility that roads don't have to be 2 horse widths wide.
There you go. Right. Exactly.
Or that I need to be a certain way. The possibilities are endless. I can be anything at all.
Anything at all. Absolutely. Yes, you can. And this is actually a really, really good time to reflect on that. So we're going to tap into a little bit more about spirituality. We talk about spirituality as the root of cannabis care. And right now there's huge energetic shifts going on because today we're in the midst of a full blood moon lunar eclipse.
Yeah, baby.
So it's a super full moon eclipse.
Yeah.
Right. And what does that mean, Mark? What is right? The moon is actually closest to the earth.
It is.
That's what it means.
All month. It's a full and total lunar eclipse. Yet look up and you'll also look within. There's much more can be focused upon right now to enhance your experience of this powerful cosmic moment.
Yes. And this is what it is. So it's being able, here we are. You can look at the past. It's a time to look and recognize of all of our personal growth, being at peace with change, being at peace with growth, being at peace with transformation, honoring your own energy and our capability to harness it, right? So we can harness in these energy and roll with the waves.
Yeah.
So, cannabis has helped us to open up a lot of different neural pathways to perceive different information.
Yeah.
And through part of this, right, is the veil of the unseen worlds. The spiritual dimensions help us to use this opportunity to lean in towards our heart. So really taking the time to meditate, to get quiet, to get still, to tap into the unseen world of spirit that actually resides right in your heart.
Yep.
And taking the time to be silent and to listen, because that they're there, the spirit, the guides, angels, God, whoever you want to call it, plant wisdom, Buddha, divine consciousness is always there communicating with us and offering us wisdom.
Yeah.
We just need to stop and listen, right?
Yeah.
So here it is today. I'm like, I got a frog in my throat.
For me, Sherry, I got to be honest with you. Full moon is always a time of extreme energy. Like I am in completely fully in my masculine energy. Like, I worship the goddesses. I am in tune with feminine energy and I mostly spend my time there. But right now I am clearly in my masculine energy and it's uncomfortable for everybody around me because I am getting it done. And
that's it. So I honor you in your transformational process, right? You honor that, give thanks. So I'm giving you thanks and gratitude because you are doing the work. You're conscious, you're aware, you understand.
Right.
And so this is a time for all of us to work through these emotions and these feelings and use our own and create our own sacred practices, right? And cannabis can help us do that.
Absolutely.
So having that awareness that you're definitely tipping more to the masculine doesn't mean that it's bad. It just means that this is a space that you're in energetically.
No, it's exactly right. And that's my point. That's why I wanted to bring it up, that if someone who's listening here today doesn't exactly feel that they're in this peaceful, calm moment during the full moon cycle, welcome aboard.
Welcome aboard.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. We're all on the train going in the same direction. Some of us are having just a slightly different experience of it, right?
Exactly. And that's why we're here to decrease stigma around what it means to feel good and be high. H for hope, I for inspiration, G for growth, and H for healing, and how cannabis can be one of those tools that can bring us that hope and inspiration for growth and healing. And I think this dives right into Wellness Wednesday, right?
Here we are.
Are we ready?
Yeah. Diving headlong.
So you all know we're a big, huge fan of cannabis, big time. Like we talk about it every day, right? But there's other things that we want you all to know too. It's Wise Wisdom for Wellness, Wise Wednesday, Wellness Wednesday, and about how other things that we can do along with cannabis can support and nourish our endocannabinoid system. So I want you to think about this very clearly. When you are supporting and nourishing your endocannabinoid system, guess what? Cannabis is going to work better for you. It is. Statement of fact.
Yeah.
Statement of fact. I call it F with a capital F. Fact with a capital F, right? So we're going to talk a little bit about all of these other, not all of them, but just a few, tap into some. I've done some research. It was really, really fun about certain compounds that can enhance and nourish the endocannabinoid system. So you ready, Mark?
I'm ready, Sherry.
All right. One of our favorites, beta-caryophyllene. Okay, interesting.
Almost considered a cannabinoid unto itself.
Exactly.
It's almost considered a minor cannabinoid in its interaction in the body.
Right.
Yeah.
And so it's a terpene, so it's almost acts as a internal endogenous cannabinoid, mimicking what we make, stimulating the CB2 receptor, right?
Yeah.
And it helps to treat inflammatory disorder. So this is part of the plant. So beta-caryophyllene. So think about these things. It's found in black pepper, oregano, cinnamon, clove, cannabis, and many other herbs. And so I wanted to just bring that one up because it was I was looking specifically at the components that actually activate the cannabinoid receptors in our body. And beta-caryophyllene is one of them.
Listen, foods are drugs. We're chemical by nature, and we put in those foods and they contain these other chemicals, wonderful natural chemicals that interact in our bodies. So what you put in your body, food, it's a drug. And so here we are, we've got beta-caryophyllene and all of these wonderful other plants and herbs. And we get a good healthy dose of it on a daily basis, right?
Yeah. See this?
Totally.
So the next one is, they call it Carnelia stiniosus, which is commonly known as tea, right? And it contains a compound that prevents, think about this, the breakdown of our own internal endogenous cannabinoids. So we make components in the body like the plant. The plant makes THC. We make a molecule called anandamide. And THC and anandamide are very, very similar in molecular structure. The THC molecule is 10 times stronger than our anandamide molecule, or another way of saying that is the anandamide molecule is 1/10 the strength of the THC molecule. But can you imagine if drinking tea can help you to have your own internal endogenous cannabinoid, your anandamide, to circulate longer in your body, right? It prevents the breakdown of our own internal endogenous cannabinoid.
So how much tea is consumed over the course of time in the world, right? I mean, it's just British culture. Every afternoon you have tea, right? Is this just because it was a social construct, or was it because it was beneficial and your human body recognized that it was a beneficial thing to do? I'd say it was probably both. And so people consume tea thinking that, hey, I'm just going to have a cup of tea with my girl Sherry here. When really your body's saying, hey, you should have some of this stuff. This is really good for us. We like this. Have some.
Exactly.
Yeah. Now we got turmeric.
Big
I'm a huge fan. Such a great anti-inflammatory.
It is.
Turmeric, the yellow spice and curry powder, which I love curry. I love Indian food. And it contains curcumin, which also raises endocannabinoid levels amongst numerous other health benefits, which the one that I mentioned was it's an anti-inflammatory.
Yeah. I'm going to tell you what really turned me on to turmeric too was actually that whole anti-inflammatory process, but also I was doing some research and it's supposed to really help with menopause symptoms. So,
I haven't had any. You're right. I take it all the time. So you're right. It must be working.
It must be working, right? Yeah. So for ladies that are out there that, are going through the change as I am right now, turmeric is great. It's supposed to help with the night sweats and mood swings.
Yeah.
And also too from joint pain, believe it or not, people that go through menopause, there's shifts in hormones, the lubrication in our body, the joints get a little stiffer. So
there's a lot changing. There's a lot going on.
A lot changing. I know.
And sometimes it's not pleasant, right?
No, it isn't. But I'm trying to find the joy in the journey, right? The
joy in the journey. There is joy at the end. I've had experience shares with it. There is joy at the end.
the end of menopause. What's the joy? Tell me.
The joy is that you don't have your monthly menstruation anymore. The pressure's off. You're like, this is a good space to be.
This is a good space to be. Yeah, we would have to do another show on that.
That's what I hear from friends who have been through the process. By the way.
Yeah.
I have no experience of menstruation, therefore I can't comment on it.
Yeah, well, my experience is crazy anyway. That's a whole other show.
In your lane. Yeah.
Staying in your lane.
Staying in my lane.
Exactly. Well, the thing is too, so you have to understand, if we're going to really tap into, as women get older, right, our hormones change, so does men, right? So I don't, what would you call, do we have male menopauses? Right? It calls menopause, right? You think about it.
Yeah.
Menopause.
Yeah.
It's interesting. So women and men.
Yeah, that's male menopause. You're dead. See you, bub.
Oh, you're so funny, Mark. You're so cute. You're really. So it's the point. The whole point is we need to take care of our bodies, so we don't have to go through these things in a way where we're suffering, right? So that's why we're bringing up all these other things and how we're pairing them with cannabis. You know, cannabis and turmeric go great together.
I know, that's right. I formulated the capsules, right? I have the capsules, the Nurse Mark capsules, and they're formulated with turmeric.
Oh my God.
CBD. Because they're both powerful anti-inflammatories, and I just love the fact that somebody is taking turmeric on a regular basis. I like that.
Okay, so, we need to put that in the comments, because how did I forget about that, Mark?
Yeah,
you got an extra bottle on the farm
on that one. Yeah,
yeah, really, really powerful.
Getting that right. Yep.
Yeah, powerful one. I'm gonna
finally share. We've got echinacea.
Echinacea is really, really interesting. Yeah, I found, we'll talk about what echinacea is, but I found it very, very fascinating how it does stimulate the endocannabinoid system, and it contains, think about this, CB2 agonist. So what does it do? It tells our CB2 receptors to do something.
Right.
And normally, before they knew about it stimulating the endocannabinoid system, they knew that it stimulated the immune system during infection. So think about it. If it's stimulating the immune system, well, what's stimulating the immune system? The endocannabinoid system, right? So during infections. And the bottom line is it does do something in our own system. And so there was a study that has shown proven effects in clinical human trials for inflammation, which I thought was very fascinating, by stimulating the CB2 receptors. And the organ systems that they studied with this one particular study was the skin and tegumentary nervous system.
Organ.
Yeah, your largest organ, and the nervous system. That's another really large system in our body that regulates.
Kind of important.
So immune system.
Let's dive into the benefits of echinacea. But first, Sherry, what is echinacea? Where does it come from?
Well, this is interesting. So it's a name of a group of flowering plants that are native to North America. So these plants are also called cone flowers. And the petals of the flower can be pink or purple, and it depends upon the different types of species. And they're surrounded by a seed head or a cone that's spiky and dark brown or red. And so, interesting thing is that it can be sourced from different areas, and there's actually 9 trusted sources, commonly recognized types of echinacea. And there's 3 of them, which are ingredients and herbal remedies. So I actually have an article that I'm going to actually post after the show that's going to go into all of these different things with echinacea, so you can all learn a little bit more. So interesting enough too, is it plays a huge role in traditional medicine, but research is limited, right? As we know by the one study of echinacea and the endocannabinoid system. So the potential benefits.
Hey, listen, plants have a complex mix of active substances. Some have antimicrobial and antiviral properties, and some support the immune system, like echinacea activating CB2 receptors. Yeah. Now, all types of echinacea contain phenols, and phenols control the activity of a range of enzymes and cell receptors. They protect the plant from infections and ultraviolet radiation damage. And you know what? They may have beneficial antioxidant properties.
Right.
Yeah.
So like we had said before, there is only one study on the endocannabinoid system with echinacea. And some of the evidence they say is anecdotal, but as you all know, I'll say this every time, anecdotal evidence should be fueling research. So some of the uses that people have used it for: coughs, colds, upper respiratory infections. This goes along the lines with bronchitis, influenza, gingivitis in the mouth, canker sores in the mouth, yeast infections and vaginitis, ear infections, HIV, AIDS, and wound healing. So these are the most common uses of echinacea.
And then
there's some
different forms, right?
Yeah.
What do we got?
dried, fresh, dried, sometimes put in teas as a
All the
dietary
time.
supplement, put in pills. I've seen it put in gummies. It can be made as a preparation to apply to the skin. It can be squeezed as juice, and it can also be extracted and put into capsules. So there's a lot of different forms of it.
You know, we always like to give you both sides of the story. So there are some possible side effects. And so what are we talking about when we're talking about side effects, Sher?
Well, they basically, you know, the National Institute of Health noted National NIH, which is the National Institutes of Health. They noted that taking echinacea
Learning things on a regular basis could be hazardous to your health.
Yeah.
You might just figure it all out.
It was so funny. Yeah, I was going to say, you know, taking education by your mouth for a short time is probably safe.
Right.
So anyways, taking that, but the long-term effects are unclear, and I'll just tell you too. But the interesting thing too is I find the echinacea to be very beneficial when I take it randomly, when I feel like something's coming on. And so the national
do that, right?
When it's
cold coming on, a respiratory thing, they'll take some echinacea tea. Yeah, that's when I see it used a lot.
Me too.
Share the NHI, the NIH. Ooh, we're all over the place. The NIH, National Institute of Health and Happiness, also notes that the risk of other medications interacting with echinacea is probably low. And I'm going to go out on a limb and say probably because it doesn't interfere with the CYP450 enzyme group, which is where most drugs are metabolized. So echinacea may not be going through that route, which is cool. So it's not going to interact.
Not going to interact.
And what does the FDA have to say about this, Sherry?
Well, they don't have much to say because so the FDA, honestly, they don't regulate herbal remedies. And so, you know, the most important takeaway from the FDA is that they will say is, you know, make sure you get it from reputable sources.
Right.
Which is important when you're, you know, when you're getting any type of supplement or any type of cannabis product is to, you know, to look and see, to do some investigation of the company and to make sure that they're sourcing the material from a place that it's not going to hurt you. So what's the big takeaway? Big
takeaway. Listen, it may boost your immune system. There has a study that's been done on echinacea and the ECS, and it has shown proven effects in clinical human trials for inflammation by stimulating those CB2 receptors, which again are primarily in the immune system.
So let it sink into your head just a little bit that pairing echinacea with cannabinoids can be very beneficial when we learn, as you're all learning, and you know, the endocannabinoid system does regulate, you know, our immune system. And so the combination of both, the synergy of them both could have a really, really amazing potential medicinal effect. Yeah.
Now you've got some notes on kombucha. This is good stuff. Do you want to save that for
that's what I was just going to ask you. Really, I was wanted to ask you, what do we have for time? Because I can just show people really quickly.
28 minutes. Let's do.
We're going to do it.
Do you want to do it?
We're going to do it. We're going to do it. We're going to do it next week. Because
how about this, guys? How about you go out and buy some kombucha and have it ready for next Wednesday, right? And we'll all have this kombucha moment. We'll drink it. We'll bathe in it. You can do whatever the hell you want with it. I mean,
Mark,
we're non-judgmental here at the Green Nurse and Nurse Mark, right?
Okay, so I'm gonna make you laugh a little bit. So if everyone goes out and buys a bottle of kombucha, there's a couple of things that we can do with it. One is we can all drink it and sample it, and we'll educate on it. But the other is that even if you have your own bottle, I can teach you how to grow your own. So I purchased a bottle of kombucha, and over the course of 2.5 weeks, I have developed a Scooby, which is known as a symbiotic culture of bacteria and yeast. And so I've created this gelatinous fungus. It's a tea, a mushroom that sits in tea.
Reminds me of the worm in the tequila bottle. Yeah.
I'm telling you right now. So this is good
stuff. I drink the Scooby.
Yeah, there's the Scooby. So the other part, which is great. It's a fermented product. So we're going to talk about fermentation, kombucha, another tea, and how it works on our endocannabinoid system.
Let's add that into our talk. Let's weave in the talk about microbiome, because there are really 4 prominent breakthroughs in medicine today, right? So one is AI, artificial intelligence. The things that they're doing in medicine with artificial intelligence are just simply amazing. And being able during diagnostic procedures to be much more able to determine positive and negative results way better than human beings. So that's number one. Number two, gene splicing. Like where this is going, being able to splice genes and help people not have to suffer from afflictions that are genetically handed down. Amazing.
Gene splicing. I love it.
The third one is the psychedelic revolution. Like this is absolutely now I got these from Dr. Sanjeev Chopra. He's an amazing, lovely human being. And he said he feels like these are the top 4 things in medicine today. So it's the psychedelic revolution in the mental health space. Like it's going to heal humanity. And the last one is microbiome.
Here we go. Microbiome. How could it, right?
Jerry, we know about microbiome.
Let me tell you, without me having a healthy, healed microbiome with using various different things, I wouldn't be sitting here today. Honestly. I mean, the whole, for my, truly, look, I'll say it. Every single thing that's happened to me was a result of the hit that I took to my gut. Sure. How my gut was destroyed and how it affected all areas of my body, my mental health, my immunity, the inflammatory process. I completely 100% agree. And so all of these different really cool microbiome enhancing activities, just like we talk about endocannabinoid system enhancing activities, we take care of our microbiome. We're taking care of our endocannabinoid system.
Do you remember in Men in Black when he opened up the locker at Grand Central Station and inside was this whole community of little aliens and they turned and they said, Jay, as if he was a god? That's the way I look at it. Your microbiome, you have trillions of these little critters inside of you who every day say, Mark, feed us the good stuff.
That's it.
Right?
Right. And so here's the thing is when you get really
universe.
Yeah. So just think about it. Here's another cool concept too, to think about the microbiome.
Yeah.
Like those little spores and bacteria that are in there. If you're not taking care of it, what happens?
Yeah.
They're not happy. Your stomach starts to do weird things. You start to have bloating, like all of these different things. Malabsorption.
I am doubling
we're going to do this.
I'm doubling down and I am going to really become about my microbiome. It's time. It's time. I've been horrible to all those little people for so long.
Those little people.
Hey,
so
Sherry,
full moon microbiome.
Yeah. So next Wednesday, kombucha. Get your stuff, have it ready. We're going to do this kombucha drinking. Beth is looking for tickets to the Green Nurse event on June 12th.
Okay, great.
Up yesterday and said she was looking for it. She's looking for it today. So
great. So I will post it up. Yeah, it's in there. So if you're on the Green Nurse page right now, there's a section that says events. So if you look if you're on your computer, it may look different than on the phone, but there is an area that says events. You click on events, all of the events are there. So I will make sure that I share the event to the actual page again. I'll pin it to the top. That's a better idea.
Pin it to the top.
I'm going to pin it to the top of the page.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh my God, you guys, you all have to come June 12th. Seriously.
June 12th, noon to 4:20. Oh, we're going to have so much fun.
We are.
Yeah. But before then, tonight, 8 p.m., Gail Peterson. We're going to have a great conversation. Gail is so much fun. I can't wait to get in the conversation. Of course, Sherry Tutkas. That's the number one reason you're going to show up anyway. Because Sherry's so awesome. So, hey, let's get it on. Let's get in there tonight at 8 o'clock.
Get it on.
Yeah.
And then after the show, depending upon how spicy I'm feeling, we could do a howling at the moon, right? We go, whoa, all of us go into the community. Everyone, really take the time today and just go within just a little bit, celebrate your microbiome, celebrate all the things that are good in your life. And just take that moment and just, even if you can't see it, if you can't see the moon, you can feel it, you can feel it. Go in and bathe in the energy. Moon bathing. There is such a thing.
Moon bathing. I'll be moon bathing this evening.
Luna love. So so watch us at 8 p.m. We're going to do some moon bathing at 9 p.m.
Yeah.
Everyone have a great night's sleep. We're going to be doing some energy work on Friday, Frequency Fridays with the Healy. Yeah. And that let's go step back really quickly before we wrap up. I'm just thinking the Healy has to do with that whole artificial intelligence. You think about it, quantum science, quantum sensors. So you got my whole mind going. So I'm really, really excited for today. I got to get grounded because I'm being
have that AFA day.
AFA day. AFA day.
And I'm going to ask you, what's it all about?
Oh, it's about trusting the green dot.
Trust the green dot, Sherry.
Right. It's about living your best life and helping others do the same. Have a fantastic day, everyone. We love you.
Yeah, love you guys. Thanks for stopping by. We'll see you soon.